Welcome, everybody, to the CUNY Coaches Corner Show. I'm Joe Massey, and we'll be joined by a host of guests on this edition. But we're going to turn our attention just for a minute, or a few minutes, to swimming. And we're going to pick out a notable in that department in the CUNY. I'm Joe Massey. We'll be right back. We promised you a section on swimming here on the CUNY Coaches Show, and we're going to dive right into it, please. All right, we're going to come over and talk to Lorraine Virgilio, who is a swimmer right now for John Jay in the CUNY, and her head coach, Dr. Jane Katz. And I should add, Dr. Katz in 1964 competed in the Olympics in a thing called synchronized swimming. And you told me, Dr. Katz, 20 years later, it became a sport, an Olympic sport.
Exactly. It was a performance sport, like many sports are, and now it's an Olympic sport.
So you've been associated with this quite a while. We have a picture of you with the two Tarzans of the infamous Buster Crabbe and Johnny Weissmuller. And we have a picture right here of her with those two people. And it's a terrific thing. Thank you for giving it to me, by the way.
You're welcome, and we hope that you'll take the plunge with us at John Jay or any CUNY facility.
Don't count on it.
Soon.
Let's come over to Lorraine. Lorraine, how long have you been swimming? When did you start?
I started swimming competitively when I was 4 years old. I'm 19 now, so I'm going on my 16th year of swimming.
Wow. Now, you were named the CUNY Rookie of the Year last year, and that's continued right into this year, even though you've had to swim with a surgically repaired shoulder.
Yes. The beginning of the season.
How's that gone for you? You've swum with one arm, basically.
One arm. I was only allowed to do freestyle events because I couldn't do my other ones. I couldn't do butterfly. So I swam the 1,000 with one arm and still won most of them. So, I'm doing better now, so.
I understand with another one of your teammates, you also competed in a very big ECAC match. Tell us about that. What did you both do, and how did you perform?
I swam the 200 IM this year.
200 IM?
Yes, the 200 individual medley.
Okay, individual medley, all right.
And I did well, considering I'm just getting back in the water after my surgery.
Yeah.
But I was very pleased with my times. And my teammate, Caitlin O'Shea, swam the 50 free, and she did very well as well.
You know, that's tough competition. I mean, when you swim in the ECAC, who are you going against now?
Everybody. Everybody in the entire Eastern Conference.
They basically come from all over the East.
Yes.
And what are some of the top schools that competed in that? Would you say, is this Division III competition? Is it broken down like that? Who are a couple of the top schools that you go against when you go in there?
Well, the Merchant Marine Academy, but many of the CUNY schools are there, and we're thrilled to be part of NC2A Division III. And very, very appropriately, NC2A is celebrating its 100th year, but 25 years of women in sport. So we're thrilled to have Lorraine and our entire John Jay team. This is our swim team. We have a big team here.
It's a big team.
It's a big team. It's swimming and diving, and we're just starting that as well for us. So the ECAC is wonderful to just make the cut, so to speak, that Lorraine has done 2 years in a row.
Now, you talked about your event. Talk about it again. What did you compete in?
The 200 individual medley.
All right. What do you do in the individual medley? Give people a background on this.
It's a 200-yard race. It's a 50-yard butterfly, 50-yard backstroke, 50-yard breaststroke, and a 50-yard freestyle. And
so you have to incorporate all of that.
All 4 strokes in one race.
And what kind of training do you have to go through to do that type of performing in one outing?
You would think a lot of sprinting, all the training like that, but it's quality and quantity as well.
So this is now we're talking about this as a team sport. Your John Jay Club is what, 3-2 this year in the CUNY?
Yes, and we started with 3-0, and we're
dropped your last two.
Dropped a little, but we're excited because we have a lot of new swimmers, and swimming is very, very you know, gradual in terms of learning on the learning curve. These are not all experienced swimmers like Lorraine, and they will continue to get better as the seasons go on.
Have all of them been swimming as long as Lorraine, or some of them have picked it up in the middle of their grammar school years, or their high school, even some high school people?
Exactly. In New York, you know, the recruiting is for everybody. Anyone that's had some swimming experience and is interested, we want them in a CUNY school, preferably John Jay, but all the schools. It's very important that they come and get better and join one of our teams.
Now, we talk about it as a team sport. Now, how do you put swimming into being a team sport? Give us a little background on that. What are the different responsibilities for team members? Do they all compete in the same event? Are there different events?
In our adjusted program, there's 13 events. And it might be the 200 individual medley, which is very challenging that Lorraine swims because it's all the events, or a 50-yard freestyle, 2 laps. But then there's the 500-yard freestyle. And
see,
then
this is what we mean. I mean,
the 1,000-yard
this is a
freestyle.
real team event.
Exactly.
I mean, you have specialists, you have people who like field goal kickers, and you know, we don't per se watch a lot of swimming events on TV. So it's good that you're giving us a real background on this, because the athletes are terrific.
Oh,
We've spoken about that. We've spoken about Esther Williams before we went on, and I mean, the athletes are tremendous, and they do a great deal of training for this sport.
What's interesting is that most athletes are very good scholars as well. And Lorraine just received the Hospital for Special Surgery, by coincidence, November CUNYAC Athlete of the Year.
Athlete of the Year.
4.0
I know you
average.
received Athlete of the Week this week as well, so I want to congratulate you on doing a great job coming back from injury.
Yeah.
Now, how's that going? You know, trying to
It's
keep
coming
it going
back
with
slowly
one
but
arm.
surely.
And
And
you getting a little more mobility back?
I
on
am, but by next season I'll be all the way back.
Well, that's terrific. And what was your first experience? Where did you get started with swimming? How did you get it done to begin with?
My mother was a swimmer in high school, and I just wanted to start when I was 4 years old. She put me in the pool, and I went. And
You just got to be put in there, and you got to do it, right, Lorraine?
You got to have a lot of passion for it, and you got to love it.
Lorraine Virgilio, she's done a tremendous job as part of the John Jay swim team, and even on her own, she's gone out there and competed, as we said, in the individual event. We want to wish you the best. Keep up. You know, we talk about the basketball, and then we talk about the softball, the baseball with CUNY. It's good to have a couple of people on who have done a great job adding to the swimming prowess that the CUNY brings, and all of you athletes are highly looked at by all of us people, even in the media that cover you. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll see you poolside. Here's your cap.
Yeah, all right.
Here's swim basics.
Yeah, we'll be there. That's the CUNY Coaches Corner. I thank you for everything, but don't count on me being there. I'm Joe Massey. We'll see you next time. We'll have another Coaches Corner show. There we are. We'll have another Coaches Corner show coming up, and we'll try to get into the CUNY tournament and the ins and the workings going on there at the end of the year. Until then, keep tuned for those CUNY sports. If you can, make it down to those tournaments. As we said, the senior college tournament is going to be held down at City College, one of the great spots in New York, and the junior college tournament will be at Kingsborough, and you can join us there. We'll see you next time out on QPTV.